In the next section of the workbook, it really starts to become personal for you. This is about you thinking about your life, your health, your dreams. Well, we kind of looked at some of the dreams, but this is really about you now. So the first part of this section is the wheel of health. And there's a couple areas, relationships, food choices, whatever. What you're going to do is analyze this. Analyze your wheel of health. Are you living in a state of health? Or are you not? What is it that's really making you sick? A lot of people don't realize, like, what is the major thing that's making me sick? I don't know. Well, if you analyze it, you can really see where you're deficient in certain areas, and then we have solutions for how to improve them. So, for instance, relationships. This is really about how do you feel about your relationships? How do you relate to people? Are you cynical? Do you not like people? Do you don't trust people? Do you love people? Are you the nicest person in the world? Do you have a couple good friends? Do you have a good friend? Someone who's got your back. Not people who you like to hang out with, but who use you or take advantage of you. I mean, people who just you can sit with and have a great conversation, and you know no matter what, they got your back. They're gonna look out for you. Maybe it's your leader in Sportron. Never know. It could be. Food choices. How are your food choices? Do you eat healthy? Do you not eat healthy? And I'm not so much talking about, are you eating tons of nutrients, but I'm talking about, are you eating a lot of junk food versus eating food that is healthier? And I know that seems like a misconcept because over on this side, you see nutrition. Now, that's kind of like you normally think food and nutrition go together, but with this, it's really kind of different because Sportron is the nutrition aspect. The food you eat is nutrition too, but the food choice is about not eating the sugars, the processed foods, all the stuff humans made that is killing us, the trans fats. I'm not going to go into a big spill on all this stuff, but hey, if you want information, Diabetic Coke can offer it to you. Um, so food choices, how are they doing? Nutrition. Now, if you're taking the food matrix and you're taking a lot of different products, I mean, for mine, it's up to 10. I take so many of the products. I take almost every product. I love the products. I mean, look at me. I'm energized all the time. My nutrition is almost a 10, probably 10. And water is part of nutrition too. What are you drinking? If you're drinking sodas, that's going to hurt your food choices, but it's also going to hurt your nutrition because you're not getting water. Water is a nutrient. You need it to function healthily. Next is purpose. How connected are you to your purpose? Do you know what your life purpose is? Or do you just feel like misled every day? Do you just wake up and you just wander around and I don't know what I'm supposed to do? Purpose affects your health. So think about your purpose. And all this, your upline is your coach. You want to go over this with them and they want to get to know each other, find out about each other. Next is finances. How is your financial health? Are you just about broke? Are you worried paycheck to paycheck? Or do you have a huge business? Or you make a lot of money in a great job? Whatever. So analyze your financial health. And then it's the stress management area. How do you deal with your stress? This kind of reflects how much stress you have in your life. Of course, your finances, your relationships, sleep, all the different areas are going to show how much stress you have in your life too. But how do you deal with? Are you good at coping with your stress? Some people have a lot of stress, but they just are strong characters and they can deal with it. Some people have a little bit of stress and they go crazy. Oh my gosh! I dropped a cup today. Some people, they're worried that they're about to lose their house. So it's really how do you cope with it and what do you do when you're stressed? Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you watch TV? Do you just sleep? How do you deal with it? And we have ways to improve how to deal with stress. So how do you deal with your stress? Then there's family. And this is kind of like relationships, but more of a deeper. See, relationships, think about it. With family, you are you with family. You will say things to people who are family that you wouldn't say to people who aren't part of the family, like your friends. You show your true self to your family and you see your true family. You see the truth in, whatever. You see your family members. You see the truth of who they are. Is your family a happy family? This has to do with are you loving family? Are you a separated family? Are you connected? Maybe you're a loving family, but you're under tons of stress, so the family's kind of scrambled a little bit. So analyze how's your family health. Exercise. Analyze how much you exercise. Do you exercise? Are you overweight? Do you need to exercise more? How is your exercise routine? So analyze that. Sleep. How are your sleeping habits? Are you good at sleeping? Do you get to bed on time? Do you wake up on time? Do you wake up refreshed? Or do you wake up like, oh man, I'm tired? Like, how do you wake up? And also, an article I just read today was, do you have like technology on when you're sleeping? Lights, TV? They actually think that having on lights and, the different electronics and stuff while you sleep can actually make you store fat. Interesting. I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm going to research it a little bit. But so, how's your sleep? Or do you need TV to fall asleep? So think about it. Self image. So important. How is your self image? How do you see yourself? Your self esteem? Do you think you're worthy of things? Do you think you deserve your dreams that you set in the beginning? Do you think you really deserve it? Or something you want, but you're like, I'll never be able to be that. I'll never be able to do that. Self image is really, and it kind of encompasses all of these different areas, but it comes down to the belief in yourself. Do you believe that you'll be able to achieve anything, to overcome anything? Or are you afraid to pick up a phone and just call someone you don't know and you're kind of like, I don't think I can do that? How do you feel about yourself? So analyze the areas. The last one's nutrition. I kind of talked about that. So if you're taking the food matrix, it's probably pretty good. But analyze it. Maybe you're like, I need to drink more water or something. So analyze the different areas, and there's 1 to 10 on a scale. And what you do is you fill in the circle. You fill in. So like, for instance, I don't know if you can see it. See how like there's 1. So if you're a 1 in area, shade in the 1. If you're like up to here, a 6, fill in this whole thing, this whole block, so it's actually like a spoke coming out. You can see it. Analyze it, figure out what you need to improve in what areas, and then work with your upline, work with your coach, whatever, and start to improve it and live a better life.